Hello Math 20-2 and welcome to your second lesson in measurement. In this lesson we are going to learn about rates and ratios and their differences. So let's go right here to our rates and ratios summary. Basically, a ratio compares two quantities of the same units. So keyword here, ratio, same units, right? Now, when we're looking at that, that means distance to distance, or if we could make them into the same units, right? I could convert inches to meters eventually, and so on and so forth. So distance with distance. Now a rate compares two different units, which would be like distance and time. So that would be a rate. Now typically ratios compares quantities of the same object, so no unit is located. So with ratio, we have no units are normally there because they're the same quantities. Okay, or they're the same unit of measurement. Whereas ratios, there's always a quantity written because if we're looking at, we have to know what's for time, what's for distance, or what is red and green, just different things like that, okay, or text per minute, something like that. Now, they can always be written in the form like this, A to B or A over B, okay? And that is normally a ratio. Now, a rate is a very specific type of ratio. A rate is comparison of two quantities where one is changing relative to the other. Different measuring of two quantities, okay? So a rate is a comparison between two quantities where one is changing relative to the other with different measuring units of the two quantities. Now a unit rate is expressed per, in this case would be meters per second, okay? So the unit would be 12.5 meters per second. It's always the one that's per is only one. That's for unit rate. Now, here we go. Let's take a look at this one here. We have Kim and Cole were given the following information to solve. Tommy purchases 3 bottles of vitamin water for $4.95. After paying, he receives a text message from his wife informing him that some more of his friends are coming to visit. He goes back to the store and purchases 4 more bottles. What was the total amount he paid for the 7 bottles of water? Okay, so we have 2 people that tried to work it. So Kim solved the problem using proportional reasoning. Cole solved the problem using by determining a unit rate. So Kim's was right here, 3 to 7, and she used proportional reasoning. She just multiplied all this here by 3, multiplied everything here by 7 to get x by itself. Okay? So she just multiplies by 7. So what she ends up getting is, we go 4.95, 4.95 multiplied by 7, enter. Then we're going to divide that by 3. She gets 11.55. Now Cole went for the unit rate. What did he first do? He did 4.95 divided by 3. So let's do that. We have 4.95 divided by 3. 1.65. Then he multiplies that by 7 because altogether he had 7 bottles. He first found the price of 1 bottle and then he multiplied that 1.65 by 7, which ended up giving him the exact same answer, 11.55, because pretty much we did a multiplication of 7 and division by 3. So pretty much same thing. I'll go again because of the freeze. All he did was he found the unit, then he multiplied it. So he divided by 3 first, and then multiplied by 7. So still, take this number here, divide by 3, multiply by 7. Divide by 3, multiply by 7. Same idea is happening, okay? So let's take a look at our second example. We have Paul, who's a nice guy, and he hosts his annual wrap-up hockey party, okay? So this year, he is hosting the party again, and just like last year, he will be serving prime rib roast. Oh, nice prime rib roast. Last year, he bought 8 kilograms of prime rib roast for $173.12. This year, he bought the roast at $10.13 per pound. Now, 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. So which one here did he get a better deal on? So which roast is more expensive? Which one's cheaper? Let's find that out. So first of all, we have 8 kilograms. So I'm going to go 173.12 divided by 8. Why? because I want to find my unit for one measurement, for 1 kilogram. So I'm going to divide that by 8. So I have 173, okay, 0.2 or 0.12, and I'm going to divide that by 8. And I'm going to get 21.64. And that's dollars per kilogram. Now, 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. Okay? So, if I want to get rid of that kilograms, I need 2.2 pounds. I think it might be easier to put this into pounds. So I'm going to go this here divided by 2.2. And that should give me how many pounds, or sorry, we have 1 kilogram. So that's the price per kilogram. And if I times by pounds, and if I'm going times by 2.2, divide by 2.2, that will give me how much it is for the other one. So I'm going to go 21.64 divided by 2.2. So now he has 9.83. 9.83, and that's dollars per pound. Okay? So last year was more expensive. Or I could look at this one. If I have 10.13, and that's dollars per pound, and I want to change that to kilograms, I have to multiply this by 2.2, because 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. Okay? So I'm going to multiply that by 2.2. And I'm going to end up getting 22.86. So this one is more expensive if we're looking in kilograms and pounds, and no matter what, we get which one's deal. He had a better deal last year. Okay? Here we go. Let's look at example number 5. It says, property owners are required to pay property tax on an annual basis. Okay? The property tax amount is based on the mill rate. Okay, it is called mill rate because the number is expressed in mils, where 1 mil is 1/10 of a percent. It's like a millionth, okay, or 1,000th. Okay, now, and assessed by the property value. So, here we go. The assessed value divided by 1,000 times the mill rate. Okay, so if Charlie spent this much here, and the property tax last year was a mill rate of 4.0638. What is her home assessed value? So let's take a look at this one here. We have Charlie paid, that's her process tax. We have 1924.39 is how much her tax was, plugging into the equation. And we want to know her assessed value, her assessed value. Is all over 1,000. And then we have to multiply that by my mill rate, which is 4.6038. So I'm just going to rearrange this. How am I going to rearrange this? I'm going to divide this by 4.6038, and then multiply it by 10,000. Okay? So once I do that, I'm going to end up getting I'm just going to put assessed value is equal to, so I have 1924.39, and I'm going to multiply that by 1,000, enter, then I'm going to divide that by 4.6038, and that's going to give me $418,000. So that's a very expensive house at $418,000. Let's take a look at B. B says, how much does her property tax bill change for the current year if her property assessed 10% lower and the mill rate increases to 5.23? So now her property tax is 10% lower. So we only want 90% of that value. So I'm going to go 418,000 multiplied by 0.9. Okay, because we want 10% less. So I did 100%, subtract 10% is 90%, which is 0.09. That's how I got that. So let's put that in. We have 418.3 multiplied by 0.9. Enter. So now that's the value of our houses, 376,200. Okay? Then it says, oh, her mill rate increased. So we want to know how much property tax. So tax, I'm just going to put PT for property tax, is equal to, we have 376,200 divided by my mill rate, which is 1,000. And we have to multiply this by 5.2113. So let's finish this off. We multiply this by 5.2113, enter, and then we divide by 1,000. And I end up getting 1,960. Okay? Or $1,960.50. So that is what she ends up paying. Well, hopefully you understood that. Good luck as you work on this assignment tomorrow in class.